So with this bird picture we have here, this is the code that puts it into the web page. The default size of the bird is based on the image dimensions. So I want to show you how you can look at that. So when I go to the folder and I rest my mouse on the icon, okay, it tells me the image type. We know it's a JPEG. Then we have the dimensions, and then we have the file size. But what we want to pay attention to is the dimensions. So the first number, 334, that's the width. The width is always first, and then the second number, the 400 in this case, is your height. So that's the amount of pixels that it's taking up on your web page in the browser. If I want to change how much or how large the bird is in the web page, I would go back to my code in Notepad, and I can add inside the image tag a width property. Now, we know that it's 334. Let's say we want it 50%. So 167 will be half. Now, I could specify the height. You can kind of get by, honestly, with just width, and it will automatically keep it in the same aspect ratio if you don't put height. So if I didn't want to figure out the math on the height right now, I just want to show you. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it so you can see the before and after. So remember, the first time we did it, we had no width. All right, so now I'm going to get two birds, but the second one, you'll see a change in size. So I put width equals, and then I put it in quotation marks, the new width that I want. If I don't put the width, it is the default size. So I'm going to save what I did in Notepad, Control S, go to my browser, F5, and you can see that the second bird is 50% of the width that it was a few minutes ago. Now you have to be careful if you're going to do height. So you can put whatever values you want in here. So if it's 334 and I put in 900, it still will do 900. Save and refresh. There's 900, but it gets pixelated because we took 334 pixels and we said, okay, now figure out how to fill in 900, and we get pixelation. So you can't really go larger, but you could go in the opposite direction. So let's put that in. That was 50%. If you add it in, so a height property equals, always quotation marks, if you just put in some random number, it will do that number, okay? So I'm putting in a number that makes absolutely no sense for the height, just to show you. I'm going to Control S, go back over here, refresh. There's my 167, but it's only 24 pixels high. So if you're going to specify height and width, you got to do the math to get the right pixel dimensions. So let's go back and take a look here. And again, the image was 400, so obviously that one divided in half would be 200. So let's throw that in there. Instead of 24, we put in 200, save, go back to the browser, refresh, and there you go. So would it work without the height? Yes. Technically, you're supposed to put both values in. And one more tag that is necessary in an image tag is what's called the alt property. You're not going to really understand this initially, but this is supposed to be a descriptive, like a description of the image. I don't know what kind of bird it is. I'm just going to put yellow bird. When you add the alt property in and you save it and you go to your browser and refresh, you won't notice anything happen at all. This is for a screen reader. For somebody who is sight impaired, web pages will be read to them by a screen reader and they can't see the picture, obviously, so it would read the description when it comes up and reads the text. When it jumps to the picture, it would tell you that. Sometimes you will also see the alt property represent what would be in the picture if your picture didn't load. For example, if I make a typo in my code and I spelled bird, B-U-R-D, let's see what happens over here. There's your alt tag. See how it says yellow bird? It didn't load the image. It creates a placeholder for the image based on my width and height dimensions specified here. And it's writing the word yellow bird because of what I put here. So if I just put a bunch of junk and I refresh, save and refresh, it's going to say the junk. So that's the alt property. And again, the idea with the alt property, I'm just going to undo that, is it's supposed to describe the image and help with what's called accessibility for vision impaired people that might visit your website. And in case your image doesn't load, it would provide a description of what the image was supposed to be showing you. So those are your alt property and your width dimensions here. If you don't specify width and height, it will come in the default size.